Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Tower of God New World. In today's video, we are going to fight White Steel EEL. You guys already know every end of the month we always have the Alliance boss battle. So there are a lot of brand new units that we've had in the game so far, a lot of boss units, for example, Verdie. And you guys might be wondering, is Verdie good against White Steel EEL in Alliance boss battle? So the best teams, like the best units you want to use against White Steel EEL are, of course, Rachel, Road, units like Verdie, not Verdie, but Vespa. These type of units, they are really good against Alliance boss battle White Steel EEL, but is Verdie good against this boss? So let's go ahead and try to test her out with him. So the team that I usually use against White Steel EEL is Rachel, Warun, Evan, Vespa, and Road. So I was able to do around, like, 711 damage, 711 million damage, and this team is pretty solid, really good team. We did around like 561 million damage with Rachel, and I want to really see if Verdie would be a good option in this team. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace Rachel with Verdie, and then let's see if Verdie's able to deal the same amount of damage or even more damage. So we have one more attempt left, and I don't know how many times I have to say this, but Netmarble, please put practice attempts in this game, please. It's not that hard. Just add practice attempts. Like, this basically restricts, content creators like me who are trying to test out different teams and different units, because we have to worry about attempts. So please put a practice attempt where I can test different units without me worrying about how many attempts I have left. So hopefully in future updates they implement a practice attempt, but this is just not it, man. Like, I can only try this 2 times. Other than that, if I die, it's over. So I have one more attempt left, so we're gonna go ahead and try to test and see if Verdie is good in this team. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace Rachel, and we're going to put in Verdie. So I'm gonna keep my mouth shut, and let's go ahead and watch some gameplay. All right, so I was able to restart that right on time. You guys can clearly see that the synergy between Verdie, Vespa, Evan, and Road and Warun in this team is a little bit off, because the most important character in this team is Evan. I feel like Evan is extremely important, because without Evan, you won't be able to survive that huge AoE one shot that White Steel EEL was able to deal to your team. So you really want to put Evan in your team, and if you don't have enough swiftness on Evan, and if you don't have the right units to pair up with Evan and synergize with him, he won't be able to use his immortality on time. So I feel like Verdie, she basically interrupts that synergy. She interrupts the flow between Evan, Evan, Road, Warun, and Vespa. Vespa is really good because, of course, she's going to decrease his swiftness, but I feel like Verdie, she definitely interrupts the flow between the entire, between everybody in this team. So I'm going to go ahead and try one more time, and let's see if we can actually manage to survive the first one-shot attack. So right there, we just got one-shotted. So if you guys are wondering if Verdie is a good option against White Steel EEL, she can deal good damage against him. She can deal amazing damage, but the problem is that when you pair her up with units like Evan, his swiftness is going to be a little bit off, and you won't be able to have access to his special skill, which is going to keep your entire team alive. You can only use his special skill one time, and then the second time, White's still ill, he's just going to immediately one-shot your whole team. So Rachel is literally the best option against White still ill. Verdie is good, but she just interrupts the flow between everybody on the team. So I'm going to go ahead and replay this for you guys, and you guys are literally going to see exactly what I'm talking about. So Evan was able to have access to his special skill every single time White still ill was going to cast his special skill. So I'm going to go ahead, put it in slow motion for you guys. So look at this right here. We use Rachel, right? We use her skill, and then we immediately use Evan. You don't want to use Vespa because Vespa is going to slow him down way too much, and you won't be able to, you know, understand when, like, you won't be able to cast Evan's skill on time because White still ill is going to be extremely slow. So the first thing you want to do is you want to use Evan's skill first, and then after you use Evan's skill and you survive that one shot, then you want to use Vespa's skill so that you can slow him down. So as you guys can see, I did Evan first, and then I didn't use Vespa at all. So we survived the one shot, and then we casted Vespa to slow him down to give us enough time to get Evan's special skill back up and running. So you want to use Evan's special skill when he's about to use his one-shot attack. This is the main reason why you always want to fight White still ill in manual mode. You don't want to fight him in auto mode because you're just not going to get the best performance if you fight him in auto mode. So you definitely want to fight him in manual mode so that you can time your special skills. And by the way, where is Rachel's hat? I just noticed that they have a lot of bugs where, like, you know, the character's outfit will look a little bit different. I don't know why, but where's her hat at? So I'm gonna try to get Evan's skill back up and running. And as you guys can see, we use Vespa's skill because we want to get Evan's skill back on time. So we use Vespa so that we can slow him down, and then we wait for him to almost cast that one-shot attack, and then we cast the special skill, and look at this, we all survived. So you guys can literally see that the performance and the synergy in this team, it's really good. Like, everyone is able to cast their special skill on time, and I feel like Verdie, she's a good damage dealing unit against White still ill, but the only problem is that she just interrupts the flow. She interrupts the flow between everybody on the team, and Evan won't be able to cast his special skill on time, and Vespa as well. So the top two important units on this team is, of course, Vespa and Evan. Vespa and Evan are extremely important in this team. Hwarun is also important because she's going to increase everybody's swiftness, because you see this pathway right here. She's going to increase your team swiftness. Like, whoever's staying on that pathway, they're going to get like a swiftness boost, which is going to allow them to have their special skill up and ready. So this team is overall really good. And Blurode, of course, Blurode is pretty cracked. All these debuffs are here, like all these debuffs you guys see up here, that's Blurode, man. He's placing all these debuffs on White still ill. It's crazy. So that's pretty much how you want to use this team. And I feel like the more I level up my characters, the more damage I'll be able to deal, because you guys remember my last White still ill video, I did around like over 100 million. I'd even hit around 700 million. The fact that I was able to hit 700 million with this team definitely is good for sure. So really amazing team. And yeah, like I said, if you're trying to use Verdie, to be honest, Verdie is a good damage dealer, but she doesn't really work well with this team because she just interrupts the flow, and you won't be able to have access to Evan and Vespa's skill on time, because these two characters are extremely important against White still ill, and they basically give you like a 100% guaranteed survival rate. Like, you'll be able to survive against White still ill's one shot every single time you use this team. Like, this team is actually really good against him. But if you guys end up finding a good team for Verdie against White still ill, please share it in the comment section down below. But yeah, that's pretty much her performance so far against White still ill. Good damage, but when it comes to synergy, not that great. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Make sure that you guys hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll be catching you guys on the next one. Peace.